Oh yeah. Now we are in the building. Now we are in the building. What's up, loved ones? Let me take a quick sip of this good old tea game yurt. Lizzie's in the building. Today is going to be a fun, reflective, transparent episode. I want to know how your spirit is out there in real time. Spiky Mello, what up, Cuzzo? Cuzzo's in the building. Daje's in the building. What's up, family? How you feeling, God? Yo, it's so ill. I was looking through old flicks. I'm telling you, the universe works in funny, funny ways. I was looking up. I forgot what year it was. I think it was 2013 or something, if I'm not mistaken, on the Glen Cove basketball joint, and I seen a photo of you, Fallon, a couple other people that were in the locker room. You were standing up, but that's how the universe works, man. I'm telling you, man, it never fails you. It never fails you. The universe works in so many powerful ways, and we're gonna tap into some of that today about mind crafting, right? Who crafted your mind? That's the episode today. The reason why it's so important because I was building my brother earlier, my brother Rashad, and me and my brother Rashad, when we build, we be on the same frequency. We be building about a lot of things, a lot of transparency things that challenge our thoughts, our perspectives, and it's pretty dope because when I listen to him, he has so much intellect and he has so many questions. He remind me of when kids and when people have so many things on their mind and they ask you a question and they're like, why? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? Why is the water blue? Why is the sky is this? Why is X, Y, and Z? And it reminds me of me so much because I do the same exact thing. I question everything around me. And I continuously question it until I come up with a satisfying answer. The guard says straight, busy working, staying out the way. Absolutely, family. Tajay say he out there grinding, doing his 1-2, staying out the way. That's a powerful thing, loved one. I'm proud of you. Happy for you. Love you. Continue to stay doing what you need to do, staying out the way. Keep building yourself up. Keep grinding. Keep learning. Keep doing what's necessary in order to put you in a place to where it brings you nothing but fulfillment. You feel me? So that's powerful. I commend you on that. Rico in the building. What's up, loved one? Rico's in the building. Absolutely, family. What's the word, God? What is the word? Beloved. Beloved. You dig? Come on, loved ones. Let's get it. Yes, 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 yes. Um, let's go there. Oh, I'll be remiss if I don't do this. How about let's get this in early, man? Respectfully great, you dig? Can y'all see that? Shameless plug. Shop at respectfullygreat.com. Go get your latest sweatsuits, t-shirts, enamel pins, socks, anything of that nature when it comes to, shopping with Respectfully Great. You can go do that today at respectfullygreat.com. Also, subscribe to Respectfully Great at YouTube. We ain't at Quay's in the building. What's up, loved one? Quay's in the building. Woman empowerment. Mother's empowerment. She's in the building. I love when I see entrepreneurship in the building. I love when I see transparent individuals, people out there that are working, striving, no matter what you're doing. If you're out there standing 10 toes on your dean, I commend you for that because it's difficult to navigate in a world where we have so many distractions. And this is why this topic today, I feel super, super compelled to expound on it because I want to know who crafted your mind. One thing I heard that I have written down, and it's quote, it goes along the lines of, we don't know where people have been that led them down the path to make the decisions that they make. Let me run that back one more time. We don't know where people have been that led them down the path to make decisions that they make. Man, that hit home. That hit home. Because it makes me question some of the decisions that I make in my life, some of the decisions that other people make in their lives, and how do we get to a place where we start making those decisions that suit us for growth and development and empowerment in our own lives. Because a lot of times we are navigated around this world predicated upon the thoughts and perspectives of other people. And that can be very, very problematic if you following people that don't have all of the faculties necessary in order to get you to where you need to go. Because a lot of times the path that other people are walking are their own paths. Whether they took information from this person to that person, at the end of the day, they're walking a path that maybe you don't want to go down. And we listen and we taking advice, we are studying, we are observing, we are doing so many things that's following the path of other people, not knowing that is leading us down the road that may be towards destruction, not growth, not money, not financial gain, not happiness, not peace, not tranquility. All of these things plague on us in so many ways, and I want to be able to have this conversation with us, with the like-minded individuals here today about these things, because I know there's some things that I've encountered and I'm learning along my journey, even through the podcast journey, through my entrepreneurship. I'm learning so many things about myself and other people, and the beauty of it is that I have a chance to get directionally right. Start assessing what I have already in my possession and the things that I can do in order to further my education, further my business acumen, further my relationships, further the 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 overall goal, and make sure I meet that, and make sure I'm arriving right on time, that I'm getting where I need to get to right on time. Because a lot of times the process may be sped up because we watching other people. We see other people out there champion doing they numbers, and we feel like I gotta hurry up and put my project out. I gotta get my YouTube video out. I have to get my class sessions together. I gotta go and I gotta start my school community. I gotta go out there and start the next thing when it comes to my next wave of clothing that I'm putting out. It feels like when you in the space, everybody's doing what they doing, and sometimes we can get caught up in the wave of trying to follow and fill in the shoes that aren't made for you to walk in. And I feel this at various times, but these are the times where we need to reflect, take a step back, and keep your concept of where you're trying to go right in front of you, and understand that your path is going to be different than other people's paths. The way you think is different, but in order to understand that, we first got to embrace that. Because a lot of times it'll cause so much confusion when we out there trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to follow his path, her path, their journey, tell their story. Why are we telling somebody else's story, meanwhile we have our own story to tell? Why are we in this simulation and we living out the thoughts and perspectives of other people, not creating our own simulation in the world that we desire to live in? It gets very, very complicated when you are bombarded with things, people, places, opportunities. It gets very overwhelming and confusing when you don't identify who you are and where you're trying to go. And this is something that I really, really want to tap in today, because I'm understanding along my journey throughout life, as I learn and grow as a human being, as a spiritual entity, as a man, as all of these things that I connect to the I am, the am aspect, right? I'm learning that whatever I attach myself to, whatever I give attention to, I bring to life. And when we are moving and navigating in this world, understand that if he's doing this, she's doing that, whatever we start giving our attention to, we slowly start to move away from the things that we are desired to do and designed to do in our own, and our own, the things that we set forth, our own goals, and the things that we need to, when it comes to our own goals and the path that we are trying to go down, when we are moving at the tune and pace of other people and giving attention to the other things that's outside of ourselves, it becomes a distraction. And with that distraction, it pulls you away from your goals, where you are trying to go. And I'm learning through it. I'm going through it and I'm learning through it. And I'm really, really passionate about it, because when I have things on my mind runs like, and I have no choice but to speak about them. And I feel after the conversation that I had with my brother earlier, it was so reflecting and I got an opportunity to listen. And in the midst of me listening, I started to hear things about myself that I said, oh, this is what I'm experiencing right now in real time. Oh, that's where I'm trying to go. I knew, man, and he was just saying things to me to make me, like, he was giving me aha moments. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. Just through conversation. And I want to be able to have this conversation with all of us today, because I think it's very, very important that we understand where we're trying to go. What are the tools necessary that are available that we can utilize? What distractions are out there that we need to avoid or pay less attention to, because it's actually taking us off course? What happens when you have plans and your plans don't go accordingly? Who here had plans of going to the next vacation? I did. Let me tell you a quick story. When COVID happened, me and Lizzie had plans to go to Mexico the first time. And when we had plans to go to Mexico, just so happened COVID happened. Not really understanding what COVID, like the severity of it. We didn't understand like what was really going on. She planned a birthday for the God, go down there, do our thing. Just so happened the plans got canceled the first year of COVID. Second year come around, we doubling back. Yo, book that thing again. Oh yeah, we out for sure. Oh yeah, jet setting. Yeah, that's where we going. Book the thing again. Come to find out, COVID ramped up even more to where they were stopping people from actually going to Mexico, and they wasn't allowing people to leave from Mexico either. Well, I was talking to my cousin Shanae. She said, yo, listen, I can't recall if she had went and just got back, or she was planning to go, and they had canceled her flight, etc. Can't recall exactly what transpired, but I remember talking to her and conversing with her about going there, and it was terrible. So we booked twice, got our money back both times. One time we didn't even get insurance, but luckily we was talking about the COVID situation, and then they end up granting us the money back. We like, we booking it, we locked in, because there's nothing turning us back from not going. So that happened. And what made me think about booking the trip and not being able to go was plans. We could plan perfectly. We're gonna have the perfect plan, and then what happens when we have the perfect plan? Reality has another plan set in place for us. Reality has another plan set in place for us. And this made me think about not only booking a trip, it made me think about all of the plans that we plan in our lives that doesn't go according to plan. What happens? What is the emotion behind when things just don't work out in your favor? Upsetting at times. You get sad. You feel like, why this happened to me? You feel like, is there any other way that I can make this thing happen? And it doesn't happen. What happens when you depend on environments or circumstances, and things just don't work out? The flight got delayed. Mexico not allowing people to come in or out. What happens? We feel stagnated. We feel like, every time I book these things, something just keep happening. I can't do no better planning and proper preparation. As he said, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Well, I did all the P's. I marked off all the P's. I did a proper preparation. I planned, and I'm hopefully this thing come to fruition. And for whatever reason, it's not coming to fruition. So now, when we have these failed plans, I'm thinking about, well, how does this apply in my life, in my daily life? Like when I go through, when I experience some of these things in life, how do I navigate around failure? How do I navigate around failure? Because it seems like failure is just knocking on the door at various times. You don't know when it's coming because you had the perfect plan until reality had another plan. So what do we do? Do we have backup plans? Somebody, if you can identify with what I'm saying, just in the chat, just send an emoji or something. Send an emoji, any emoji. Send an emoji in the chat and let me know you with me. Because I understand that there's some things that we all go through and we deal with reality. Reality, like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. That's what I'm talking about when I say the reality aspect. Reality has its own plans. So we can have the perfect plan until we get hit with some other plans. It will cause us to actually be resilient in those moments. We got to be able to get up, move around, shake, do our thing in order to overcome this. But it's easier said than done. Is it possible? For sure. But easier said than done. But what happens if this is a repeated process? You constantly getting punched in the nose, punched in the uppercut in the jaw, elbow to the chin, get your legs swiped up under you. These things just keep, life just be lifing. And you're like, I just can't get out of this. What happens then? What happens then? Can anybody tell me from their experience where life just been lifing? I went through some turmoil. I went through some struggle. I went through some pain, some hurt, some emotional discomfort. I went through some confusion. Have that ever, have those emotions ever knocked on your door before? Have you ever been knocked down at various times where you felt like, man, is it worthwhile even getting up? I've been knocked down so many times. Does it make sense to even get up? Because sometimes that's how life play on you. Sometimes life just beats you down to a pulp and you're like, man, if I get up one more time, it just might be the blow to knock me out forever, man. What do you do in those circumstances? What do you do in those circumstances? Because I know that from my experience, there are always seasons. Seasons. You have a season where everything is flourishing, blossoming. Can't miss. Every jump shot water. Every jump shot water. And then the other season, you feel like you're getting drenched in the storm by the water. You're getting drenched in the storm by the water. Oh, by the way, the tornado picked up. Oh, the tsunami hitting. It feel I'm getting hit left and right, man. I'm in a wave pool and my feet ain't on the ground no more. Barely could swim. It's getting tough out there now. It's getting tough out there now. And now life is life. What do you do now? Who do you call on? Do you look out for other resources? Do you look out for other people? Look for places, things? Are you trying to hibernate or trying to go into a bunker? You trying to hide from the situation? I know when I've done those things, it never worked. I know when I try to avoid this situation, it never worked. I came up against, difficult situations in my own life, which I can imagine. I know you guys experienced it on many levels, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I know you be challenged. But when you face these challenges, I want to know, what do you do when things just get tough? How do you figure out what's the next step? Where do I go from here? Is it worth even going through the process? I can reassure you that it is. Because there's a big why attached to everything that you do. You do everything for a reason. And if you had the inclination to go out there and say, you know what? I want to go out there and I want to exert my energy in this area. I want to go out there and pursue this. Because you thought about it. You said, if I go out there and I go and I accomplish X, Y, and Z, there's some level of fulfillment that will come into your life from what you initially started that journey for. So you say, you know what? If I go out there and I do this, I will feel this, or I will see this, or some financial gain, or some happiness attached to it, or you may be able to help somebody else along the way, make somebody else's life change. It could be so many different variations of reasons why you do what you do, but there's a why that's attached to it. So what I'm saying is that when we go through these tough things, and everything sounds and feels chaotic, how about if we remember the why we doing what we doing in the first place, and start to be resilient and start putting together another plan? Although that plan I failed over and over and over and over again, and it just seems like this plan ain't working. What do we do now? Question. What I've learned to do in my life after, some of the heartaches, some of the pains, some of the failures, some of the disappointments, I started to take and reshape where I put the blame at. Me. The reason being is because when you start giving autonomy to self, it comes with a level of responsibility. Even though I put the burden on oneself, the reward will come when you start thinking internally and start putting that onus on oneself to be great or not be great. When you start looking at yourself from a perspective of somebody that's going to overcome and achieve no matter the circumstance, those are the proud moments that give you power. The proud moments that give you power. Because the responsibility is there, and you're willing to take on the responsibility faculties with that. And now it allows you to go out there and say, you know what? I can outthink my problems. There's no problem out there that's bigger than me. Because I gave myself the power instead of running, hiding, ducking under a bunker, avoiding the hard and the tough questions. I'm willing to stand in it, face it, willing to look at it dead in the eye and say, you know what? I think I'm built like that. Not only do I think I'm built like that, I know I'm built like that. And you start saying, you know what? Whether I succeed or fail, it's going to be directly associated with me, how I think, how I project my energy into the world, the things that I do. When things don't work out, it's opportunity there. When things don't work out, there's opportunity in the failure. Because now we have opportunity to go back to the drawing board and see what didn't work. Now we have an opportunity to go back to the drawing board to see what didn't work. Shy, what's up, loved one? Aaliyah's in the building. What's up, loved one? My niece is in the building. Shy's in the building. These are some of the things where I've learned to work through the problems. Because now I don't even look at problems as huge problems. It's just a prerequisite that I have to get through in order to get to the means, to the end goal. Along your journey, there are going to be sticks and stones thrown in the pathway. There are going to be some tornadoes that hit. There are going to be some thunderstorms that, may come and just shower down on you. There are going to be some people, places, and things that may pull you away with distractions. But if you allow that to happen, that means that your mind ain't crafted for you. Your mind is predicated upon what everybody else does. We are actually programmed because we are tuning into things that don't serve us at the highest level. That's why they say the television, tell live vision. Programming, remote control. What are you controlled by? Where's your attention at? Because we know whatever you give attention, you bring to life, you bring to reality. You make that part of your story. I know there's some things where I have given my attention to where it drew me away from the goal. Khalil, what's up, loved one? My nephew in the building. There's some things that drew me away and took me off course. And it took me, that much more time that I lost out on to get back on course. Because at the end of the day, my goal may not be everybody else's goal. My path in life may not be nobody else's path. So we study and we watch and we moving according to what other people are doing. And we living in the assimilation of what everybody else has created around us. But what have you created for yourself? What are you creating out there for yourself in order for you to navigate to tell your story and live the way that you desire to live? Who says that the $1 million is the goal? Who says the fancy car is the goal? Who says the nice big house with the white picket fence is the goal? Those are nice things. Those are beautiful things to, acquire and have. But is that where your happiness lies at? Some would say yes. And for those that say yes, I commend them for that. I commend them. Because at least they can identify where they put their happiness. But what happens when these people, whoever they may be, go and acquire the thing and they found out that I bought that nice laptop. The laptop, it just still ain't that happy. I went out to the McDonald's today. I bought the burger, fries. I did all these things. Still ain't that happy. I brought that gym membership, but I ain't go yet, but still ain't that happy. I brought that new thing, that new this, that new that. Not knowing that our happiness has to start from within. Because once we start internalizing some of these thoughts and perspectives, everything else outside of us is just a projection of our own thoughts. Everything outside of us is just projections of our own thoughts. Everything around us came from a thought from someone else. And although we can utilize these things to our advantage, there's nothing wrong with utilizing other people things, other thoughts, other perspectives. But what happens if it's not bringing fulfillment into your life? What if it's bringing more distraction, the thing that was created, and it's taking you away from the things that you need to do? What happens then? What if we don't have high agency and be able to make decisions on our own? What happens then? If we just, following what everybody else is doing, following the Joneses, what happens then? These are the things that I question because I came up in a time and space where I was once a people pleaser. I did everything according to how I thought other people would, respond to me. Until I started to figure out, hey, I would love to feel happy in the process of, doing charitable work and I feel good about it, not looking for the response of other people or not feeling that the end all be all starts and ends with them versus me. Meaning that, hey, I have incentive to go out there and be happy. And what makes me happy is seeing other people happy. If that's the motive and that's the goal and I go out there and I succeed at that, then I won. And other people win in the process of doing that too. If your morals and your perspectives are in the right place and you doing it from that perspective, then you're a winner. But if you go out there and you living your life according to what other people say you need to live your life like, then are you happy? Then are you a success? Then are you a winner? Because at the end of the day, if that doesn't bring fulfillment into your life, if you don't feel like you served your purpose, then why are you doing what you're doing? Because there's going to be a lot of things that come up in your life that you're going to be on the path on that is not going to be other people's paths. And they're going to get off that. Because that's not what they are there for. They don't want to do what you're doing. Things may look cool for the moment, but what happens when things get uncool? Where do you stand at? What do you do? How do you move forward? Is that the goal for you to move forward? If everybody else around you stop, but you say this is your goal, then what happens? Every time somebody start and stop, that start and stop happens to you in your life. So that means that you continuously throughout your life going to start things and stop them. And then we looking around why we don't have what we want to have. Why we not fulfilled in our own lives. Why we don't have the happiness that we looking for. It's because we start and stopping all the time. Predicated upon what other people are doing. Dad, what's up, loved one? Funny thing today, we riding through. Me and Neff, we gotta go get our haircuts, leaving the school. We see Dev coming from somewhere. So Dad was like, yo, Dad, where you coming from? The guy was, I'm coming from the gym. He said, I see you coming from that way. He said, yeah, I ain't park over here. I come for the gym, putting that pain in. Beautiful thing. You know why? Mission driven. Knowing where he going. Knowing that, hey, my free time, I'm not going to be out and back of the school bull crapping. I'm going out there. I'm going to the weight pile. Pack on the pounds. Pack on our weight. That's agency. High quality decision making. Making decisions on their own. That's where you start separating yourself from what you need to do versus what everybody else need to do. Because everybody else has their own path that they're walking down. Everybody got their own journey that they need to experience. What experiences do you want to bring into your life? That's the question. Because everybody want a thing. Everybody have desires. But the desires are turned on and turned off based on what you give your attention to. Your desires are already innate in you. They're already inside. But you don't experience those desires depending on what attention you're giving it. Because we can't expect to get anything from that we don't give attention to. We can't expect to get anything from that we don't give attention to. Where's your attention at? What are you bringing into your world and your reality? Where's your awareness? Who crafted your mind? What path are you walking down? What goals are you setting for yourself? The why. Why are you doing what you're doing in the first place? Come on, loved one. Why are you doing what you're doing in the first place? A lot of times we just following. There's nothing wrong, because in order to become a good leader, you got to follow. But what are you giving your attention to? If people, places, and things aren't aiding you to get to the next level and helping you reach that goal and aiding you along the way, why are you doing it? You could be doing something totally different, more constructive with your time. You could be utilizing it in whatever form or fashion. At least it's gearing towards your goals versus following anybody else. But these are the things that we come up against, and we keep failing and can't figure out why we failing. Because we're not even being true to oneself. We're not even being true to ourselves, and we looking around why we failing. These are some of the things that I see every day. And I go through them at various times, because every day may not be the win that I'm looking for, but I find the win in it. Let me run that back. Every day may not be the win that you're looking for, but I find the win. Meaning that you always have a choice. Every time you create a win, you also create a loss. Every time you create a win, you also create a loss. But it's all about what you attach yourself to. There's always two sides of the bread. There's always two sides of the bread. But which one are you going to attach yourself to? Which one are you going to hold near, dear to your heart and tell that part of the story? Every day you can rewrite your story. Every day you have opportunity. Every day there's things out there that you can bring into your reality and bring to fruition. But it's all about where you put your attention at. A lot of times your attention is elsewhere, and we wondering why we keep going around in circles. Why we going around in that maze, hamster on that wheel, running treadmill, going nowhere fast. We're going nowhere fast, and we can't figure it out. I know I've been stuck so many times where I kept falling, getting up, 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 until I understood the hell up. If I'm not evaluating the failure, and I'm repeating the same, behavior, I'm not changing my behavior, I'm not changing the way I think. It's part of insanity. Albert Einstein said, doing the same thing, expecting a different result, it doesn't work. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result is part of insanity. So why am I not evaluating the failure and say, you know what, I did that wrong, let's exclude that, let's try a different approach. When we just failing, obviously we ain't learning something. Obviously we not learning something. So the failure, it's okay to fail under the conditions that you're learning from the failure and learning how to win out of the failure. Trying a different approach other than, repeating the same failure steps. These are some of the things that I had to learn on my own too, and from other people. Why this ain't working? Did you try a different approach? Did you look for other resources? Did you maximize the resources that you already have? A lot of times the things be right in front of our face, but we're unwilling to use the resources. And that happens frequently. That happens more often than not. And sometimes that will lead you down a path of destruction to where it creates burnout. You're like, man, why is it even worth doing what I'm doing if the only thing I'm seeking out of this is continuously failure? I'm just failing left and right. That's a choice too. We don't have to continue to fail, because we also could find the win in the failure. Hey, you know what? I failed in this, but you know what I gained? I gained this. I'm gonna use this approach next time, and then now I got something else to work off of, to where it give me a higher probability of not doing that same repeated step that was just, increasing more failure. Because it always baffled me when I come up against things and I fail. Then I ask myself the question: did you do everything possible that won't enable you to fail? Did you maximize your resources? Did you maximize the time? Did you maximize the effort? And a lot of times we don't check. I know I haven't checked off yes. I'm like, Did I give 110%? I might have gave 75. Did I use every resource available? I might have used 50% of my resources. Did you increase the time that you was doing the thing? I mean, I worked on it for half an hour, but I mean, I'm supposed to have, more results than that. So sometimes we have to increase the times that we do a thing. Sometimes we have to increase the time. Sometimes we have to increase utilizing the resources. Sometimes we have to put ourselves in overdrive and be resourceful. Sometimes we have to be resourceful. We have to go out there and make and shake and make things work, because nothing's going to come to you. Doors don't open to people that aren't maximizing their potential. Why should a door be open up to you if you don't go nowhere? If you're just sitting stationary and just feel like everything will just come to me. In this world where there's millions of things going on, millions of resources, outlets, opportunities, but we feel like everything gonna come to me. And if it haven't came to you yet, 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna come to you. 9 times out of 10, if we're not building up, though, what's up, loved one? If we not out there building ourselves up to become the person to acquire the thing, how are we ever gonna see opportunity when it comes? We're not even gonna be able to recognize opportunity because we don't know what opportunity look like. Everybody sees opportunity different. Opportunity shows up on different people's doorsteps differently based upon who you are. Some people may see a bunch of land. I could put houses on that. Somebody else can see the same exact land and say, you know what? I could use this land for mining. They might find gold in it, diamonds. Another person see this land and say, you know what? I'm gonna excavate this thing. I'm gonna gut this thing out. I'm gonna put a river in there, pull a pool full of fish like Boosie did. Excavated land, made some holes, whatever, and put a river in the backyard. Opportunity shows up to the doorstep differently based upon who you are. So we can't expect to yield the results from someone else if we're not becoming the person that we need to be in order to recognize the opportunity. Because it shows up differently for everybody. So what are we doing in the meantime to become those person? To become that personnel. Become the person that can acquire the thing. What happens when we take that failure? When we get punched in the mouth? When reality gut check us? When people tell you no? When friends, family tell you no? When schools, environments, business partners tell you no? When work said, nah, boss, employee, tell you, when everybody around you tell you no, then what you do? You got to find the yes. And you know where the yes is at? You. You are the yes. The internal you. The problem solver, you. The one that is bigger than any problem that approaches, you. The one that's resilient, you. The one that could make, what's the other analogy? What's the other analogy? You know all the analogies. Y'all got the analogies down pat. Turn water to wine and all these things. You feel me? People sell up one. Come on. There's so many things that we can do versus just pointing the finger and saying that this didn't work for me. Why am I dealt these type of cards? The thing is that everybody get dealt cards. It's all about how you play them. From where you are, the environment you grew up in, the household you grew up in, the family that you have, the friends that you have, the financial opportunities that come to your doorstep. All of these things are direct reflection of who you are. Because we only give attention to what we're aware of. Why people from third world countries are making it and becoming, millionaires, slumdog millionaire. How they become millionaires? Coming from environments, poverty-stricken environments. How are they able to come, multi-millionaires? It's possible. It's happening. Because they're not really worried about the environment. They're worried about who crafted their mind. They crafting their own. They seeking opportunities. They building themselves up to become the person. They're not letting failure fail everything around them. They seeing the win in the failure and figuring out, okay, and not to fail, let's do this a different way. resilience, prudence, quality decision making, agency, being able to make a decision on their own. It requires that. Because if we just listening to what everybody tell us, then you live in everybody else's life but your own. If we continuously just listen to what everybody else has to tell us, then we live in everybody else's life but our own. What if one person say yes and then the other person says no? Where do you stand at now? One person says yes, the other person says no. Where do you stand at now? You have a decision to make. Are you able to make that decision? A lot of times we fearful because of we don't trust ourselves. So that's why we looking for other people to make the decisions for us. How do we get from a place of being so codependent on everybody? Because I believe there are teams that you need to build. I mean, everything starts on a level of you bringing an idea to fruition. You have an idea, and then that idea has to be consistent enough until, like when I was talking to my brother, right, and we was talking about the assimilation thing, and it made me think and wonder, right? Think about it in this context, right? Everything that we see around us is built from someone. It was an idea. Maybe nobody believed in this mic. He said, this mic, there's no use for that. Who wants a hanging mic, right? Until that person created the idea, used the mic consistent enough. Hitler said, I'm going to jump around. Hitler says, right, in order for somebody to believe in a lie, you got to be bold, loud, and repeat it often. Let me run it back one more time. He said, in order to make, like, this is what he built out propaganda, right? When they just tell lies and they just running with a story. He said, if you bold enough and you loud enough and you repeat it often enough, you can make anybody believe in anything. Crazy. But what happens when you bold, you loud, and you repeat the truth? What happens when you bold, loud, and repeat it often enough? The truth. What happens when you do that? You start to create your own simulation of believers. You create your own simulation of people that believe in your truth, which once was only your truth. Everything around us came from an idea from someone or something. And they told that story long enough until it came truth. Why do we got law enforcement? Somewhere along the lines, they say, we need law and order. And then somebody said, you know what? All criminals, quote unquote, we're going to put them, not only we going to have retribution here, not only are we going to take laws and matters in our own hand, right here where we living at, we're going to post it up on the television. And we go say, criminals crossing state lines, whatever. We're going to make America's Most Wanted. And they put people on television and they say, if you see this person, call X, Y, and Z. Now this person go to, something happened in New York and they go out there to California and they find this person and somebody says, hey, I got to uphold the law because they're a law-abiding citizen. They call people up, get this person jammed up for the crime that they did. They enforced the law. Who told them that they had to do that? Nobody. But what they did do is somebody was loud, bold, and repeated, criminals are bad. So the upholding citizen, law-abiding citizen says, hey, I'm going to obstruct justice. I'm going to put justice. I'm going to uphold the law. And they did what they did in order to do what law-abiding citizens do. That came out of belief that was told that no matter where you are on the planet, criminals are bad. That's what they say, right? So that belief that didn't only stretch in New York, it transferred all the way up to California, it goes down to Texas, go to Colorado, everywhere in the world that people had this ideology because it was bold, loud, and it repeated often enough. That's how all the stories are told. I'm just giving a scenario about just, how things work. And in the real world, everything is told behind the story. And depending on how long you tell that story, if you loud enough, you bold enough, you repeat it often, no matter what story that you're telling, it will pierce through because not only it comes from you telling that story, then somebody else going to tell that same story. What happens with Steve Jobs and all them with Apple and all this situation? He long gone. People still believe in the Apple products. The people believe in the Apple products. Initially, it was one man's idea or two people, whoever came up with the business. But it was a thought. It was a creation. Now, everybody believes in Apple products to this day because it was somebody else's thought. But what happens when you do that with your own life? What happens when you say, you know what, I'm going to stop believing in, some of the foolishness, because this foolishness that led me down the wrong path. What if I start telling that other truth? And I'm bold, I'm loud, and I repeat it often enough to now start telling my own truth. What happens then? Now you creating your own simulation. You creating your own world that you living in. Now, the judgment is really based on you, however you see it out. Whatever you want to bring into that simulation. You want to build the walls over here. You want to put a little carpet over here on the floor right here. You want to make a car in the driveway. You want to do, do yoga. Whatever you want to bring into your life, you have the power to do that. But when we going to start telling those stories? We write those stories from the failure and start writing those stories of, oh, let me start creating my own. Let me be loud and bold about it. So regardless of the fact when other people may not believe in it, you believe in it yourself until you tell a story long enough and prove to you that, yo, listen, hey, this is what I want to bring into my world and my reality. I'm going to make this part of my reality. I'm going to tell the story from my perspective, from my point of view. I'm going to tell my truth. And then you repeat that story. You repeat the story of victory only, victory always. Victory only, victory always. Coach Lucky quote. What happens when we start doing those things? I'm powerful. I am strict. I'm omnipresent. There's no limits. All possibilities are possible. All work works. We start repeating these things to ourselves and start building up that inner mind, that inner character, the one that's the problem solver, that one can outthink their problems. What happens when we start wearing the armor that, there can be no chinks in my armor. No chinks in my armor. I'm built like that. No matter who say anything about you, no matter who say what, you have the power to walk around and create your own simulation. Of course, we already got structures already built in the world that we living in. But what are you going to do and create for yourself in order for you and your family to thrive in? What story are you trying to tell from that perspective? What are you trying to create? What world do you want to live in? What do you want to experience? That's the question. What do you want to experience? Everybody got their own desires, but the way we tap into those desires is based on what we turn our attention to. What are you aware of? Everybody has opportunities. Everybody see opportunities different. Sometimes you got to become that millionaire person to see the millionaire opportunity. If you choose to have that. If you say, I'm fine without that, I'm just seeking happiness. But are you becoming the happy person that can recognize it? Is your behavior rubbing off the, be happy? Or are we waking up every day with a chip on our shoulder and just mad at the world? How does that work if we trying to be chipper? If we trying to be happy? We trying to smile? But we got the mug on our face every day. I was watching Ali Sadiq, and he was telling about, he's a comedian, and he was saying that when he was in prison, he would walk around and joke all day. And there was one elder gentleman that wasn't joking. He said, Ali, man, get away from me, man. Every time, man. Ali, I'm gonna bust your cranium, man. Get away from me, Ali. Get away from me, Ali. And Ali said, listen, man, I'm gonna make you smile one day, man. I'm gonna make you show those teeth. So Ali said what he did was he took his finger and he pointed the finger this close to the guy in the prison. And he said, I know you see my finger. I still ain't touching you. I'm still not touching you. And the guy ended up cracking a smile. And the thing, what we learn from this is that beyond having humor, but if you're consistent enough about your approach and your goal and what you're trying to do and manifesting what you're trying to bring into reality, that will actually shine through at various times, even if other people they don't want your truth. They don't want your reality. They're not going down the path that you're going down. But your path can still be infectious and affect people in so many different ways if you're consistent with it. If you show up and be that person every day, if you be bold, loud, and repeat it often enough, you can affect whoever you want to affect. First, affect yourself. Understand that you are here, you are purpose driven. You are designed. We shape and mold our purpose from our design. You are unique. You have leverage. We can tap into all that. We can tap into that. But you got to be able to trust oneself first. We got to understand that failure is part of the process. We understand that things may not go our way at times. You have the perfect plan, and you know what? Life have another plan. Then what do? To be resilient. We get back up. We evaluate the last plan. Come up with another one. Just keep executing. Have the why in front of you. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Be consistent enough in the conception, the thing, the idea, the thing which you started from the very beginning, this goal that you want to have, this experience you want to experience. Have that at your frontal lobe. Have that at your doorstep. Put that around you. I was listening to Myron Golden and him. He was saying that his goals of being wealthy, he would write the numbers of the amount of money that he want to have in the sleeves of his suits. He would write the numbers in his collar, write the numbers on his sock, write the number down on a piece of paper on a refrigerator. Everywhere he just sees these numbers of what he want to accomplish and what he want to bring into his reality. And these are some of the things that we have to do. We have to train our mind to see it before it comes in the physical. We got to experience it before it comes in the physical. We got to smell what it may smell like. We got to touch it the way we need to touch. We got to feel it emotionally. We got to say, you know what? Hey, this is something that I want to bring into my reality. Okay, I want to be on a vacation right now. I want to go to Mexico. I want to feel with the sun feeling like beaming on my face. The sun hit my body, or the water when I jump in the water, how the water may feel. I'm sitting on the side of the beach, all inclusive, whatever. They're bringing me, they're bringing the guard grapes, bringing the guard fruit. You know what I mean? Having the beverage of my choice. Relaxing, kicked up, feet in the sand. Shopping at the local shop spots, the local clothing stores. Eating the food I desire. Having the money in the pocket, the money I want to have. Feel that. Feel what that emotion may feel like. Experience that already before you have it. And keep that thought there. Keep that feeling there. Feel what that feel like. No matter what's going on around you, feel that. If that's what you want to experience, you can experience it right now. It just ain't come to manifestation yet. But that's part of your desire. And all you're doing is drawing your attention and your awareness to it. It's only a matter of time before it comes to fruition. Only a matter of time. Because everything, I kid you not, almost everything that I think about comes true. I kid you not. I'm not even, and I mean, I'm not saying, yo, give me, I'm talking about things that I actually feel in my heart, that I manifest, I think about, and I ponder on. It all comes true. It may not come true right there in the moment, but what I do is, there's so many things that I foresee. I swear to God, yo, listen, this is, when I was talking about my cousin earlier, right? When I was talking about Tajay earlier, I kid you not, I was just thinking about him. I went across his picture. He popped up on a live. I'm telling you that. The brain is so powerful, man. And we dismiss it because we always taught to look outside of ourselves for, confirmation. And we taught not to trust in oneself. Ferragamo, what's up, loved one? Will, never give up. What's up, loved one? Orlando, what's up, family? Eliana in the building. What's good, loved ones? We in the building today. But we taught to constantly look outside of ourselves. And then what happens is you give all of your power and strength to every other thing but oneself. And we can't figure out why things aren't working for ourselves. It feels uncomfortable when you start doing things at your own discretion, because you're like, man, I'm normally told what to do. Or somebody normally giving me the direction. Somebody normally telling me if this is right or wrong. Then when you start, having higher agency and start making decisions on your own, you start doing things, it feels, abnormal. It feels like this isn't really normal, but I'm trusting in it. It gets uncomfortable for you and other people that you're around. Have you been around, when things start to change, when your reality start to change for whatever reason, and you start to think and have a different perspective? Have you been around individuals or people where they say, yo, man, you're a little different? I don't know, something different about you. You may hear that type of remark. Or you may come into a space in a room and say, yo, man, you got a glow. Something about you is glowing. You may have that experience. And then you may have the other experience where, definitely cooking over here. Glad to see it. Absolutely, loved one. I know that. I see you, Ferragamo. Big love. That's how things work. So a lot of times you may rub off and give off different energy based on that other person's awareness as well as yours. Let me run that back one more again. You may give off and rub off different energy based upon that other people, other persons, other personnel awareness as well as your own. People picking up different things, all because you have a different perspective on how you see certain things. Because a lot of times, certain things may challenge other people's belief systems, and that gets uncomfortable. When you have to start rewriting another story, what happens is when a person have to do that, if they feel as if they cutting off themselves. When you tell a person, hey, you know what? I found out that this some piece of information and this and whatever it may be. Say somebody been telling themselves the story about being handicapped their whole life, right? I was watching an interview with a gentleman that has nubs, no legs, and no arms, and powerful speaker. And he was giving speech in a gymnasium. In the gymnasium, he was giving a speech, and I'm watching him, and the way he's moving his head, the way he's talking, interacting in spirit, I'm like, he was telling that, there have been so many limitations placed upon him just from a physical aspect. Other people used to feel sorry for him, all these things. He's like, yo, bro, I don't feel sorry for me. Why are you feeling sorry for me? Because a lot of times people place their perceptions upon you and think that you have to act in accordance to their perceptions. And then when you oppose of it and when you have a different perspective, they're like, why he or she acting different as if they're not handicapped? He's like, what? You the only one that see handicap. I don't see handicap. I see a willing and able person that's willing and able to accomplish anything in their lives. Willing to accomplish anything and have all of the attributes already. I'm resourceful. I have everything at my beck and call that I can make work for me. Yeah, this may not work for you, but my story that I'm writing works for me. What happens when we start telling the story from that perspective? There's nobody you're in competition with. And let me say this too. The word competition, if you look at the etymology of it, is not to fight against. The word competition, the etymology, the origin of the word is to strive with. And I was talking to Coach Lucky, and he was talking about denotative and connotative language. And denotative language is the truth of the word. Connotation is what everybody else associate the word or words of being. And a lot of times we misuse words and we don't have the proper meaning to things. So what happens is when we don't use words and use things in its proper context, we do a disservice not only to ourselves but to the people we come in contact with as well. Because now we all on we all in a submissive mind state. We are below the totem pole. We're not uprising. We're not picking ourselves up because what we know to be right and we still use things in the wrong context. That means that we're not learning anything. So when I said the word competition, my understanding of the word competition is totally different than what I used to associate it with being like before. Because the word competition, I thought just to being competitiveness with someone else or just being competitive against a thing or an entity or a state, until I figured out that competition actually means to strive with. So when I hear the word competition, I'm like, ooh, I endure competition. I like competition. I like to strive with. So these are the things that it's hard to unsee when you use things in its truest form. You are your truest form. Get connected to you. Reconnect that wire. Reconnect that neuron. Reconnect to who you are. It's powerful. And the thing is that people will always dismiss it because things may make other people, it may challenge other people. It may make other people feel and look at things from a different perspective that draw some uncomfortability. And when that happens, that's okay. That's normal. Because when I got introduced to certain things, I'm like, what? How? What? Who did what? When I heard certain things that challenge my own belief system, it get really, really uncomfortable. Because now something that I held on to my whole life, I feel like a part of me has left. When I thought that my rest of my life was going to be somebody of just hustling, bustling in the streets, when I thought my life just was going in that trajectory. And then when I finally made the decision, say, you know what? Well, I didn't make the decision because I ended up going to prison. But when I end up having to go to prison and I have to come back home, I'm like, okay, instead of focusing on the failure aspect, what did I learn from being in here? And I learned that, okay, there are opportunities that I'm missing by living the life that I was continuously living. So I said, you know what? Going forward is make a change. And since I made that change, I can't tell you how many opportunities that crossed my path because I became a different person. Everything that was happening from a street perspective, from scholastic perspective, from financial situations, from relationships, all of these things were thoughts and perspectives that I attached myself to initially from the things that was going on within. These are just outward projections, and those are small parts of who I am and my creativity. Those are small parts because there's so much more going on that I've yet shared with the world that I know was going on with me internally. I know there's great things that are ahead of me. I know there are wonderful things I'm going to experience because I experience them right now. My thoughts are already there. My energy already there. Bones in the building. Ant is in the building. Sub loved ones. My spirit is in the right place because I choose it. I choose it. No matter what's going on around me, no matter how much disturbances, I choose to be victory only, victory always. Victory only, victory always. Now I'm not focused on the failure. No, we know that happens, but I'm not focused on that. If that happens, then my only obligation is to pick myself up and say, "Oh, what did I learn from that?" This proper preparation prevents poor performance. Let's embody those things. Let's keep reassessing. Let's make some refinements. Let's do some other things that will yield maybe a different outcome than what I've been experiencing. Instead of doing the same exact thing and still getting punched in the chin or hitting the jaw by life. Because we know that doesn't serve me at the highest level. Oh, these people in this environment, this thing, this social media, this, that, pop, 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 pop. Oh, this ain't the place where I need to be at. I need to be somewhere else. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Okay, if I can't change my physical circumstances, let's change this. If I can't change my financial situation, let's change how I think about money. Shout out to my sis Erica. She's doing profound things. She definitely gonna be up here soon. She was talking about some money. She deal with money. She deal with rewriting your stories about your money. Eliana Bones, they show you ways to how to rewrite your story about money. How do you get funding? How to repair that credit? They're on the same frequency. Repairing. That's what we all got to do. We got to repair. A lot of times we keep things broken and we not willing to repair. And this is the results. We still in the broken stage. Tire flat. We unwilling to change the tire. We got the spare in the trunk. We don't want to use the spare. Nah, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna wait for AAA. Then you don't even got AAA part of your plan. AAA ain't even part of your package. You don't even got the AAA on part of your insurance. That ain't part of your policy. You talking about waiting for AAA? Okay. But that's the thing. The thing is that we have to start to repair some of these things, and the repairing don't start with the physical. Repairing starts right here in the mental first. Everything starts in the mental. Because these are thoughts and projections that's already in the world that somebody else already created. Who created AAA? Somebody said, man, I'm stuck long enough, man. I need somebody to come help me out in these situations. Yo, follow up with this, get this package, get this plan. No matter where you're out on the planet, you call AAA, we coming. For a small fee, we are coming. Gotta respect it. They see an opportunity and people being stuck. Hey, people can't hitchhike from the Sahara. Maybe call AAA, man, so they come down, swoop and get you. You dig? Going over the sand dunes, they coming to get you. But that's how things work. How consistent are you? Are you being bold? Are you being loud? Are you being repetitive with your message on who you are, your story? Are you telling it from that perspective? You got to pay to play. Come on, Ellie. Got to pay to play. That's how this thing work. But where's your belief at? What are you believing in? Who you believe in? What story are you telling? Is it your story or someone else's? I come to find out that your story is more powerful than anything. You know why? Because can't nobody tell it but you. Your story is stronger than anybody's. You know why? Because can't nobody tell your story like you tell your story. But if you constantly let other people tell your story, what they saying about you, some days it may be some good, some days it may be some bad. Because I get it both. Some days I get some cheers. Other days, man, they sweep me from under the chair. I get a chair like this, and then the chair I'm sitting on, they swipe me right from under the chair. I get them both. Put them on the guillotine. Put them on the chopping block. I hear both. But no matter if I get the chair or get the chair, I'm going to tell my own story. Because I know that's where the validation is at. That's where the value is at. That's where the truth is at. That's the unbiasedness. That's where it's victory only, victory always. That's where it's transparency at. That's where it's, confronting those fears. False evidence appearing real. That's where I combat that. That's where I'm gonna knock those things down. I get comfortable with that. Oh, word? It was like that? Oh, it really ain't that bad. I'm gonna sit with that. Ooh, let me evaluate this thing. Let me start the repair process. Okay, my credit ain't right. Eliana, I need some help. Your Bones, I need some help. What can I do? Erica, I need some help. I need help to rewrite this story. My finances ain't working. For some reason, I'm just down bad. I just don't know what to do with my credit. Listen, the way I've been spending money my whole life, this is how we did as a family. I just been following protocol. We party in the club, we popping bottles. This is what I did my whole life. That's all I know. It's part of my identity. When does your identity don't serve you? When do we got to detach from some of the things that we've been doing and the story that we've been telling? Yo, that's the bottle boy. That's the bottle girl. That's the bottle this, the bottle that. Oh, they blowing money fast. I'm not blowing money fast. I don't want to blow no money fast. I want to stack that paper. Stack that money on. Looking for generational wealth. Not only take care of me, take care of my peoples, my loved ones. Make sure that they got opportunities. Children going to school, going to colleges. Make sure they got a place to rest their head when they're going out there and figuring out things for themselves in this world. Who I want to rub shoulders with, who I want to connect with. Like-minded individuals that's out there striving, winning. Because they identify with their own story. They telling their own story. I want to connect with people that got their own identity, have their own agency. Making quality decisions, have high prudence. Telling the story that they want to tell. Not listening to everybody tell them some things that may not be true. Some may be true, but they still got to go out there and evaluate it, test it, see if it come back. Is that pure? Okay, it's pure. Okay, it's yeah. Okay, come back. But if it dissipates, ain't nothing come back. It ain't the real thing. If it come back, it's real. Okay, it's real. We know that's real. Let's go. Showtime. It's up. But this is how we, test ourselves. This is how we challenge our beliefs and find truth. Just because somebody told me a story, and so just because I've been telling myself the story, now it's time to repair, rewrite, retell, challenge. Okay, now I'm in a place in my life where I've been dealing with certain things. Now it's time to pick myself up. Do I still hold this belief to be true? Does it serve me having that attached to my identity now in this day and age? Because what I did 20 years ago really don't amount to what I'm doing right now. What I did 20 years ago really don't hold no substance on what's going on with me at this very moment. Of course, there's some things that I've learned and I experienced then that may have, had some effects on me this day and age. But now it's time to put those things in question. Does it serve me telling that story? Does it make sense for me to go down that path? Does it make sense for me to hold on to this relationship? Does it make sense for me to go into this business partnership? Does this make sense to go have me work under these conditions? Does it work for me to be in this type of relationship, friendship? Does this work for me to adhere to the thoughts and beliefs on, these other platforms? Does, that girl, he or she telling the story that I want to tell? Does these myths around money, are they true? Because they say these myths, but are they true? Can you make X amount of dollars in one sitting, one round, one day, month span, year span? Is there such thing as generational wealth? Never even heard of that before. Generational wealth, what's that? Okay, let's get introduced to these new words, these new vocabulary words. Let's put this in our psyche. If this is something that we want to bring into our lives. Let's stop using, the that type of language that don't yield us a higher return. Does it make sense for me to talk like this in this environment? Does it serve me? Who knows? You know. Because if you're willing to stand up and tell that same story from an honest, pure, and true, transparent perspective, what you think you're going to get back? Honesty, truth, transparency, and truth. You'll get that back when you tell that story. There's many stories we can attach ourselves to. Every time we create one story, we always create its opposite. But most of us like to attach to the opposite one because it gives us the vulnerability we've been looking for. It gives us the handicap that we've been looking for. It gives us the excuses on why we can't get to the next level. Because my circumstances was this. These people affected my life. That person did this to me. He or she said that about me. This school teacher did that. This relationship did this. This work environment did that. My friends did this. I got tripped and fell on my face when I was, going down the aisle for my prom. I fell down the steps like Mike, head caught on fire. We tell these stories because we're looking for that vulnerability. We're looking for the handicap. We don't want to take ownership. Having control over your life, meaning that you have control over your life. Meaning that you make the decisions of what's going on in your life. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's responsibility. That's autonomy. You always got the power if you choose it. You can tell any story that you would love to. But I think the best story is your story. The real story. And switch up the vocabulary with words that suit you, that don't take away from you. There are going to be so many things that want to take away from who you are. Don't let it. Don't let distractions be the cause that you don't reach your goals. Don't let, these things, distractions, just take away from where you're trying to go. If there's anything that I've said that offended you, understand that my intent wasn't that. Understand that I'm just speaking from a true and transparent perspective for self. And I want to see if this upholds, if this is true. So I'm always going to put it out there and test it because I want to hear other people's sentiment, other people's value systems, other people's thoughts, perspectives. Because it may challenge me to look at things from another perspective and see if what I'm doing aligns with what I need to be doing. As far as is it coming from my heart? Am I just evaluating other people's situations and just taking what they saying as true? No. If we have two opposing thoughts, let's seek truth. And if I'm looking for truth, we can put these ideas in a jar and brainstorm and think tanks and figure out, okay, this is what I figured out. Or this is what you figured out. This is what I figured out. Okay, I got to rewrite this part of my story. Okay, I got to rewrite this part of your story. This story, blah, 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 blah. We just sharing these ideas. And then we coming out with some things that may work. Because we know there are methods out there that work. We got systems in place that work. We know we got, organizations and structures in place that work. We know that we have buildings. There's a method that people came up with in order to build strong buildings, living quarters. We have business models that work. We have financial literacy that people understand and bring wealth into their families. We have behavioral psychological things. We have mental awareness type things. All of these things are available depending on what you want to attach yourself to. What story do you want to tell? Seeking the truth ultimately will serve you at the highest. So whatever you do, continue to do that. Continue to challenge yourself. Continue to put your thoughts, your perspectives, and your beliefs out there. Jazzy Jeff said he don't want to go to his grave empty. So any thought, any creativity, put it out there. Because he don't want to go to his grave empty. Meaning that he don't want to go to his grave without a creative thought that sparks something, spark someone else, spark for him to go and step his game up another notch. Whatever it is, put it out there. Let it be tested. Because the one that's out there that's bold, loud, and repeating that story is creating all of the assimilations going on around us. And you can be part of that. You can create your own assimilation. You can create your own. What world you want to live in, what you want to experience. What do you want to feel? How do you want to live your life? Who lives do you want to come in contact with and affect for better? We have the power to do that once we recognize it. Yeah, that was something that was just heavily on my mind and heart in the moment after building with my brother earlier. And hopefully we'll be able to take some things, whatever don't apply, let it fly. If it doesn't apply to you, let it go. Because my thing is, I'm not looking to be right. I'm looking for truth. And hopefully you can attach yourself to what feels right for you. And whatever doesn't feel right, don't attach yourself to it. Because the only person that's going to be able to tell your story the way you tell it is you. So keep going out there. Keep truth seeking. Keep being resourceful. Utilize your resources. Be masterful. Understand thyself. You got this. You got this. Be brave. Be willing. You're able. You're able. Don't let the beliefs of others discourage you from going out there and accomplishing what you need to go out there and accomplish. Show up for you. Show up for the people that depend on you. Because there's so many great things that you can experience from it. Because you can see yourself right now, feeling it, experiencing it. Whatever happiness you're looking for, smile today. Find the happiness. Smile. Smile. Feel what smiling feels like emotionally. How does smiling make you feel? How does things that feel good to you feel? Whatever you associate with feels good. Think about that emotion and connect that. Connect that emotion to the thing that you say you want to bring into your experience. That's how we start bringing things into our reality. By attaching ourselves emotionally to it. Feeling it. Physically, spiritually, mentally. Manifest on it. Be consistent at it. Be loud, be bold. Repeat it. There's nothing that you can't accomplish. Be loud, be bold, and repeat it. And there is nothing that you can't accomplish. It's been a wonderful day. I'm happy, appreciative that you guys are here today in real time. That means that we synchronized by the hip. We attached. On the wave says, like the way you finished, big bro. Great ending. Ah, it's my bro. 100 Wave King. I love that dude. I love that dude unconditionally. It's my brother, man. And the beauty of having people that love you, they willing to tell you the truth. Gary V style. Get around people that love you enough to tell you the truth. And I appreciate my brother for that. Love him unconditionally. You know? Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Yeah, tap in. Run the numbers up. Tell a friend and tell a friend. If you haven't subscribed yet, if there's something that you liked and somebody else can benefit from it, put them on. Have them subscribe. Tell them to tune into the channel. Tell them to tune in next week. There's some people out there that that could do just and have a story to tell, something that be fully transparent that can help us. Let me know about them so we can, figure out a way to bring them up on this platform. Somebody that that you find that adds a lot adds a lot of value to what we're trying to do and produce on this platform. Babe Bro said, love you and doing what you like to love. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep, doing what you like to love. Absolutely. Absolutely, loved one. Do that thing. Do that thing. Do that thing. Big Fendi. Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. Do what you got to do. I love you guys unconditionally. Respectfully, continuously be great. Respectfully, continuously be great. You dig? We signing out. And I'll see you next week. Next Thursday. Same time. 7 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, subscribe, and share. You feel me? Respectfully.